Okay, just let it pour and then slowly outshot. Okay, action. The script for Terror Nation came about because, I'd had lots of different ideas and they were all very similar to Excremer or Fantaside, gore, comedy, sort of epics. But after Fantaside had kind of gone nowhere, it seemed little point in flogging a dead horse. There's no point in keep banging the same drum, doing the same thing. So I decided I wanted to do something different. So I wanted to just tell a story, a crime kind of thriller that turns into a horror film. Was the original concept, the heist, then the road journey, and then it turns into a kind of horror. But there was a struggle to find the villains of the piece, if you like, what the heist gang would run into at the end of the journey, what they'd become embroiled in. Eventually settled on the whole government conspiracy and the chemtrail thing after reading various stories on the internet.
Get the fuck down! Down! Well, I thought the script was exciting and fun. Obviously a heist film grabs your attention, boys and their toys, guns, but just as the story evolves and as the character evolves, that seems interesting, and me being obviously the lead role as well, that was attractive. So that, and being a horror as well, different genre to that I've done before. So that's what attracted me, that's what was interesting.
You need me to get out of here. I can get you out.
Maybe I don't want to leave. Maybe I've been getting high on your gas.
Well, I think the first time I read the script I was really impressed by it. The characters seemed very rounded, and there's a lot of dimensions there for each of the characters, a lot of variety as well. There was some fun characters, obviously your serious characters, and the whole thing seemed really, really good. Obviously there was a lot of bloodshed and action, and the dialogue was really well written as well, so I was really impressed with it, and I think that's what sort of made me decide to do it. And then obviously meeting everyone as well was also another factor.
Hey mate, do you want to buy some pills? I've got some fucking shit hot pills that'll get you right off your fucking nut. You'll be buzzing your bollocks off for weeks on these.
You filthy fucking scumbag. When I first got the script for Terror Nation, I was hooked. I was actually, I think if I remember rightly, I was due out that night. I was going out, but I started reading it thinking, well, it'll take me an hour. But I ended up cancelling an appointment that night. And I read the whole script cover to cover. Now I get about 2 to 3 scripts a week, and I read them, week in, week out. I was really hooked with this, and I thought he's really got something here, Shane. And I thought his script was all that.
You'd make a fascinating study.
You sick, twisted cunt!
Well, when I first looked at the script, I didn't actually read it all the way through. I was encouraged very much by Andy to apply for the role, and that was 2 or 3 days later that he played me again and said, had I made up my mind whether or not I was going to actually go for it. And so I then sat down and had a really good look at the script and thought, well, there were 2 characters that Andy said that I could play. One was the one that Mark Margeson played, who was only in it for a short while, and I thought, I don't want to be playing that character, because if I'm going to be in this film, I want to have a major role. And the other one was for Leonard. I looked at that and I thought, yeah, this is going to suit my character more, because he basically is the person in charge of the whole experiment, and that's the sort of person, my background, coming from the fire service, being in charge of a fire station, I thought that would suit me down to the ground, also as a sort of a government agent. I did have some misgivings at first about the plot, particularly the necrophilia bit, because another friend of mine who'd looked at the script had actually declined to take part in the film because he thought that may well damage his future film career. And I gave that some thought, and I thought, no, this is a strong plot. That's acting, but that's what actors do, is they take on roles that are uncomfortable, that push the limits, push the barriers, and a lot of the top actors have done that sort of thing. And I thought, well, I'll have a go at this, and I was very, very impressed with the script. I thought that was a very good, strong story, and there were some well-drawn characters. So, yeah, I really liked it.
Fucking did. Quality. We may be doing this non-paid, Dave.
She loves it though, that's the thing.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
Oh dear God.
God, that feels peculiar, that does.
I
reckon, mate.
Fucking look peculiar.
I hope someone's over there looking through.
When we were casting, I couldn't cast the Kathy role. All the other roles had been filled, but I couldn't cast that role. And it was the script that was the problem, because Kathy, in the original script, there's after she kills herself, and even before, it was quite lurid. And one of the things that happened after she shot herself in the script was that Leonard Stalin, the main villain of the piece, he then rapes the corpse. But I had to rewrite the scene because I couldn't find an actress to play the role. Claire Louise Catterall was eventually cast, but she'd done these beauty pageants, and they stipulated that she couldn't do any nudity, so that had to be taken out. And I was disappointed about that, because I'd already lost some nudity on the scene with Jodie Lee Harris when she's having sex in the back of the 4x4. When I lost those two things, I was worried the film was becoming too tame. And even though it was a different sort of story at Fantaside now, I didn't want to lose the edge. I didn't want to lose the edge and become too soft and too tame, so I still wanted things to have a punch. So I was disappointed to lose some of that stuff.
Okay, action!
There's a fucking car!
That polished little cat's lost his bottle. Fuck. Fucking some getaway driver.
There's the bus. What's happening here, John? No, sorry. No, stepping all over my line here.
Oh, sorry, mate.
It started off very well with a heist, and then we're going on to different locations around Yarmouth, Somerleyton, and I was just looking forward to the days to come.
After the first 4 days, I was really enthusiastic about it all. It seemed to go really well, and obviously the first rough trailer went online, so we could at least see how we were doing. Unfortunately, the weather was against us a little bit, but we persevered through it, and I was really enjoying it and really enthusiastic about the rest of the shoot.
Okay.
Marvellous. What a laugh. I mean, here's a filmmaker we really connected with, and we connected with the other guys in the film. But I knew most of them. We'd had a production meeting and then kept in contact afterwards. And I couldn't stop talking about it. We had 3 or 4 days off before we were next on, and I couldn't wait to get back on the set.
I was surprised at just how quickly we managed to get through some of the scenes, because that was one of the things I thought when I first looked at the schedule. I thought there's no way that we're going to do, something like 70 odd scenes in 10 days. No one, having been on film sets before where we've actually taken 3 days to do one scene, I just couldn't believe that we were going to do that.
And at first I really wondered, looking at the schedule, could this be done in this amount of time? I mean, looking at Roger Corman and Fred Olen Ray, those sort of things, this is what I had in mind, because Fantaside dragged on for a year and a half, which was ridiculous, especially for such a low budget film. It was ludicrous that it went on so long. So I got Principle done in the time that I'd said I was going to do it. I mean, initially it was 4 days shooting, and then we had a break for 3 days, then another 4 days, then a 3-day break, and then 2 final days. And after that I went to Devon, because in the script there was my character is in Devon, and so I went down to Devon. I mean, that wasn't, that I'd written that in the script because I was going on holiday for a week in Devon, so I wrote it into the script, and to work that in and make use of that.
This better not be a Vaseline job, Charlie.
Somerleyton local church at midday. Go east, Johnny. East is up.
A lot of days were my favourite days. I could say on the Broads, but I think that would be an obvious one for a lot of people on the Norfolk Broads, which was nice with the barbecue. But I do like being angry with the old gun. So knocking David's head and being angry and shouting abuse at him and throwing him about the community centre, I enjoyed that.
The day on the boat, going up the Norfolk Broads, beautiful sunshine, spent all day sitting on a boat, didn't have to do much at all, fantastic.
We're leaning a lot. I'm happy about the leaning.
You ever left?
There's only two of us sitting on this side, everyone else is on that side.
Favourite day on Terror Nation? There's a lot. I enjoyed the heist scene, that was good. We had a big scene which is like the big finale now. A lot happened that day. It was a long day. There was a lot of special effects involved, but actually, although I'm not giving a lot of dialogue in all them scenes, the way my character is probably it was the best day and hardest day that we had to work, and I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I think my favourite experience on the film was when we filmed the boat, the scenes. They were really lovely. Thanks to Carl Robinson, who let us use the boat, and we went out on the Broads and we shot these scenes with the boat. I would have liked more of that in the film, but you know, you have to pare it down to what keeps the film going and what keeps the film moving forward. I mean, it's pointless just having a kind of travel log of the Norfolk Broads, just to either flesh out the running time or just have more of these nice boat scenes cruising around. I mean, there was a lot of footage of the boats and it was only a small segment of the film. But like I said, you have to concentrate on what keeps the film moving forward.
That's really beautiful round here. Do you know there's over 100 miles of waterways? And the wildlife, well, that's something else.
Can you get out to sea on these waters?
Well, you can, I suppose. Why, are you thinking of going out to sea?
No. Just thinking out aloud.
When we're doing the heist, we're all having the stockings on our heads and just standing there before we even went on set and just looking around. We didn't know each other, and we're just looking at each other and all our faces all deformed. That was so funny.
What we'll do, hang on a minute. Shall we both actually joke at the same time?
That's what, yeah.
Count to 3 seconds in your head after action.
Right. You're getting worn out, Drew.
He actually wants to be a bit more behind him.
1, 2, 3, bang.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah,
just one shot?
Yeah, just.
That's all you'd be able to do this anyway. Let's just copy.
Is it one in the head or two? Two, so it's like bang, bang, okay?
Yeah,
and just
bang, bang.
jerk your arms at the same time.
So 1, 2, 3, bang, bang.
Okay. Right, go for it and action!
When I fell down the ravine and dislocated the clavicle from my shoulder, that probably stands out for me as one of the anecdotes. Certainly one I tell everyone anyway.
There's a scene on the trailer which is a scene that was not actually in the original script. Now, I think we were on the first day or the second day, and we'd filmed a few scenes. I think my character had offed a few more people, and just while we were setting the camera up, I turned around to Andy Callahan, who plays the lead, and I said something which Shane, the director, had picked up on. He says, we've got to have that in the movie. And of course it's the scene where, it's the last scene in the trailer, when I turn around and say to Andy, I said, thought you said this plan was watertight, Johnny.
It was fucking watertight until you fucked it up, you poxy little cunt.
Well, we had lots of questions from people that we met along the way as to what sort of a film we were making, particularly people in Somerleyton. Well, we couldn't actually say to them, well, we're making this very gory film, and by the way, we would like to use your facilities, your premises to do this. And so I told them that was actually a love story the whole film was a love story. I can't remember what the actual name I gave to them now, but it certainly wasn't Terror Nation.
There's no business, it's like show business.
So I bought these kind of suction things off eBay, and it's a bit risky. I had 3 cameras filming Terror Nation, and I thought, well, I'll use the least important one. When I say least important, it had a slight colour problem that the other 2 didn't have, so I thought, well, I'll risk this one and put it on this suction cup on the side of the 4x4, and they went driving off down the road, came back, and it's still attached. And I think, great, we can get these scenes that I want where they're driving along and talking and conversing, we can keep the film moving. So I walked over to the 4x4 and I started talking to the actors, and it just fell off, luckily onto the grass. But now, a few seconds earlier, it would have smashed to pieces on the concrete. So I knew then that I couldn't do it that way. So I had to change all those scenes where they're either static and they get out of the car and talk, or they sit in the car and talk. That bothered me.
Sorry to barge in like this. You haven't got a phone we could use, have you?
When we was in the post office, but it was meant to be the house where the family were all vacated faces, expressions. We only got the script. We got the script, but it had changed a little bit, so we had to learn the lines. Well, to my friends, I'm known as Memory Man, so obviously my memory's not too good. So I had to learn the lines over and over and over again, but then to try and portray that over the camera as if it was just natural. And by looking at the finished result, it does come across okay, I think.
I mean, it just don't make sense.
Well, it does to them, as it says in there. The New World Order. They'll have what they want. Complete control. And total power.
Where Andy's character Johnny dies, I have to try and portray a lot of emotion in that scene. Where I have to get angry at the end with Leonard, the bad guy. I have to get pretty emotional, angry there. So there was, I think towards the end there, it was more challenging.
Right, but you need to go, if you go up to that yellow shit, just in front of it, that's it there. And when I say action, you're both going to move. So come, as quick as you can. Careful with that blade.
Yeah, I think I've never done a death scene before, and that final scene in the movie When I Die, I think that's that was the hardest. I'd always looked at other actors when they'd done that scene before, and thought, that looks. How do they stop their heart from beating, and and movement, and that total expression? And of course, all of a sudden it was upon me straight away, and I had to sort of come up with something. But I think with the special effects that were involved in it and all the makeup, it proved to be a good scene. I hope you like it. I enjoyed doing it, but that's probably the hardest scene that I had to do.
And then you decide to become an informer, giving away secrets to low-rent budget villains.
Yeah, probably the most difficult scene for me was the one where we had the torture in the wood. And the reason for this was that I got the script on the Thursday, and that was quite, I think it was 7 pages of script. And this was a new scene that had been added. So I made a point to learn the script. And then on the Sunday, that all changed because we got different actors coming in, and Shane sent me a new script, which I then had to learn for the Tuesday when we're filming on the Tuesday. I had it in my mind the way I wanted it to go, but what I didn't know was the scene that we would be doing it in, and that was a little bit different to how I'd sort of imagined it in my mind's eye. And not only that, the 2 people who were actually involved in the scene, the 2 other actors, were people that had not actually read the script before, and so they weren't very well versed in it, and so I felt I had to work my socks off a little bit.
We've done some of the gore stuff, the heist at the beginning and other bits and bobs, and Samuel's death, had been done, but there was a lot of stuff that hadn't been finished. And the problem was that my brother, who'd done the special effects on Fanticide and was doing the special effects on Terror Nation, he left the film. We had a disagreement, and that was the end of that. I was left with a big problem because I had no ending. So basically what I'd done is, I finished it myself.
No. That's crap, wasn't it? No. Was it just the way I was moving? Was that shit?
You don't come out like that. It's more, you sort of come around the door like that, and you see him goons, right? So it's up against the door, like that, and they're there, and you're, see what I mean?
But that was the making of Terror Nation. I wish it could have lasted for longer. I wish my closest friends and family could have been on there to see it. Because if I enjoy something, I want people to experience it, themselves as well. And I wish I could do another one, sequel, prequel. So, Terror Nation, we'll see how it goes, eh? Here we come.
Dancing? Who do you think he is? Fred Astaire?
Who do you think it is? Fred Astaire?
Fucking word.
Well, the making of Terror Nation is probably one of the most enjoyable and rememberable experiences of my entire life. Certainly something I'd like to repeat in the future. If Shane decides to make another film, I'd certainly like to get involved with that, and I'd be the first one there and the last one out. I really, really enjoyed the making of Terror Nation and everything to do with it. We had such a great laugh. Everyone on board was brilliant, and if you haven't watched this movie already, you will love it.
Thought we could use it to pick up all your dead bodies along the way.
Man's a liability.
You worried about that, druggie? Eh? He's a scumbag. Shit. Anyways, yeah, sorry, I forgot that. Yeah, anyway, you worried about that drug bag scubby? Anyway, you worried about that drug? What a fantastic time we had in the spring. Total collaboration of everybody involved. We had people lending us boats, we had people lending us locations, people coming and giving their time for free. I met some brilliant friends on it, people we're still really close to. I'd have no hesitation working with any of them again, and I loved it.
Surprised you done fishing and stuff before, haven't you?
Oh, sorry. You cheated me! You fucking bitch, you cheated me! Nobody cheats me! Nobody escapes the destiny I planned for them! You weren't supposed to think for yourself! You think... Oh, shit. Sorry,
right,
I lost it.
Let's
start again.
Straight from the top, no problem.
There is so much in there that is, if you like, hidden, that you don't actually see until you've looked at the film 2 or 3 times and you think, I hadn't spotted that little bit before. But there's lots and lots of little bits in there, little clues, little asides that you don't see at the first glance or the first showing. So the film came out a lot better, and also the quality of the film is very good. Again, you're using the equipment that we had, and the fact that was very static. We didn't have any rolling roads or railway lines or anything, steady cams or anything like that to use, and the lighting was all purely natural lighting, and that caused its own problems. I mean, there was a lot of times when we had so many fluctuations. We were waiting for clouds to come over. That I was really impressed because the whole thing gels together very well.
Terror Nation cost around £1,500 to make, which is absolute peanuts. But I haven't got £1,500 to go and make another one. And even if I had £1,500, I wouldn't. You want to try to improve with every film. I mean, I couldn't with Fanticide, it cost double that. So I felt like I was coming down. The good thing is with the cast that I got together, that's what lifted Terror Nation up, was the cast, because they were dedicated to doing the film. So that really helped to give it that extra level. But I can't just go next week and make another one. It's going to be a struggle to get another production off the ground. I will try, and I'm thinking next year I might be able to put something else together. I've got some script ideas, but after Fanticide and get nothing at all out of that, not a penny, I'm always thinking small now. I'm thinking, you know, how can we do a small little horror film, you know, and with a handful of characters and keep it small and keep it realistic. The problem with me is I always sort of write these ambitious, like Terror Nation, we got a kind of government conspiracy. How do you do that with 1,500 quid? But so I'm trying to think small for the next one, because I know that I'll probably get nothing out of Terror Nation as well. So, you know, you're going backwards instead of forwards. But I will keep trying.
You lost it completely. If I knew you was a fucking maniac, we wouldn't be in this shit. This better not be a Vaseline job, Charlie. Just fucking listen! We're meeting Charlie in Norfolk.
Norfolk? You're taking the fucking piss, aren't you?
Oh! Do you know a place called Summer Lake?
There's a 5-mile perimeter around this village, using technology that you've never heard of. Your every movement can be tracked. Your every breath monitored. You're here to stay, Johnny.
But if everyone ends up like this, I mean, it just don't make sense.
You think you haven't suffered enough? I'll make you suffer. I'll make you rot in hell. And for scum like you, it means slavery or death. I bet on the latter.
I wouldn't.